Hi, intrepid viewers. Oh my God, what a week. Thank you all who wrote to me saying, they put a clip of you on the Mary Trump show, the Nerd Avengers, best name ever, wish I'd thought of it. It was so thrilling. But I have to say, when I went in and watched the clip, I sound so slow. I sound like I've had 3 Valium. Not my best work, Mary. Oh my God, I didn't even get a chance to talk about her uncle as the sort of snivelling turd that he is, graceless creature beyond measure. No. So it was really quite subdued, I thought. Never mind. Never mind. Moving on. Oh, I'm so excited I can't shuffle. Okay, so here we are on the brink of another year. Da 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 da. So I'm going to look at each week in January and see what's on board, particularly focusing on the US. Now, in the George Santos scandal, it keeps getting worse. You know, this is the guy who won a blue seat in New York, having lied about his own biography, his ancestry, certainly his educational record. He didn't receive a university degree anywhere. Lied about where he lived. I mean, but he'll probably get up, this GOP. I mean, will he be allowed to go forward? It's staggering. Anyway, we'll see what unfolds. The cusp of week 1 and 2 are going to be very interesting for obvious reasons. You know, the 6th into the 7th, anniversary of all horrors. But let's have a look here, everyone. And we'll kick off. Oh, and I digress already. I haven't pulled a card. SCOTUS. The SCOTUS ruling on Title 42. Well, it's not a Supreme Court. It's the grisly remnants of the Supreme Court of America. Bad people. Bad people. Okay. I'm going to pull 3 cards for each week. So this will be week 1. Okay. I have enough shuffle for week 2. Let's see. Week 2. Oops. Oh, that wanted to come out there. We'll see what that is in a moment. Okay. Aiming for week 3. Week 3 of January. And week 4, by which time these gruesome people will be in the offices of power in Congress. So, what is in store? So, I'm sorry, I'll leave it down so you can see me flip them. This is week 1. Oh, flying out of the blocks. Okay, Queen of Cups. Who is she? Well, the King of Cups, her husband, is Joe Biden. So is it Jill Biden? I think this is bigger than that. I think this is speaking to women generally in the US. It's a big female energy kicking off week 1. Then look at this. This is only the first 3 cards. Wheel of Fortune, Karma, Fate, and Destiny. The Tower. Maybe it's about Kevin McCarthy in the speakership and all of that. And if they don't get it sorted in the first 2 weeks, apparently people don't get paid and stuff. I'm sorry, America, you have a very, very weird system that barely resembles democracy as other people might recognize it. It's Bizarre. Okay. So the wheel is turning as we speak towards this. So the report is coming out, and look, there probably wouldn't be more than 100 people who read the full report, and they all work for MSNBC. But I think the report of January 6th, it's leaching out now. The relevant things are leaching out. I think this could be action, serious DOJ stroke Jack Smith action. I hope so. Oh my God. Oh, I hope that's what it's about. Now, come down. Week 2. 3 major arcana. Okay, for those not familiar with tarot, there's 22 major cards and 56 minor cards. So 3 out of 3 here are major cards, which is telling us another big story, week 2. And like I said at the beginning, I think it's 1 into 2. That juncture is going to be massive. Massive. Oh my God. I hope this isn't weather event. Oh my God. But I think it's political stuff. Okay. The strength card. I suspect and hope this is referring to the American people having the strength, and also those of us in the rest of the world, because we are all impacted by what happens in America. So already we've had a massive rise in the far right everywhere because they've been allowed out of their hobbit holes because of the Yeti years. And so we're all dealing with it, not just in terms of foreign policy at a high level, on the grounds, on the street, the rise of day-to-day racism and abuse, etc. So, sorry, coming back, the strength card. So it could be, let us pray that it's the institutions holding, because this is a big deal. So then there's going to be a bit of a hiatus, I suspect, while people are working out how to deal with the power energy. A bit of a hiatus hanging around before moving forward. So I'm halfway through the January reading, and I would say we are going to see big things going forward, and not a minute too soon. I mean, we're all aging on the vine while these legal cases play out, you know. Soon I'll be saying this started in my 60s, still going. Scary stuff. Okay, week 3. We have, all right, we have somebody's in tears. Somebody is in tears at this crossroads. So this could be migrants at the border stuff. Because Title 42 has not been reversed, people stuck literally in bondage. Australia has led the world in diabolical and humane treatment of migrants. We invented offshore processing. I picked up this card and just got the migrant vibe. There's a crossroads of how to deal with this, because it's like every country, including the UK, that attracts a lot of immigrants risking their lives to cross the channel and often die in the process. We've got to remind ourselves, everybody, it is not illegal to be a refugee. And I want to stop using asylum seekers because they've been demonized. Let's go back to refugees, people who can't live in their homeland because of war, because of persecution, because they're from a particular minority group, or because they're gay or whatever. It is not illegal to seek refuge. The Christians, don't start on the Christian. Anyway, This is a crossroads, I think, around the immigration issue. I think some peace will be brokered in the sense that something will give. I don't think Biden is indifferent to this. He basically is a compassionate soul. And I think somebody's going to be working together to try and break the stalemate with people coming in. One more digression before we move on to week 4. Countries like Australia, the US, the UK, people are no longer having 8 kids, right? They're having 2 kids or 1 kid or no kids because they can't afford to put a roof over their head in the case of young people, right? So the birth rate has dropped in all those countries. Now, if we want to keep up our standard of living, we need immigration. We need migrants who are young and healthy to actually pay taxes in their working lives to keep me and other people in an old folks' home. Okay, we need this. So we need those at all levels. The unskilled, who's going to pick your beans in California? Like, it's not going to be your average Anglo teenager, is it? No, let's be upfront. No. But we forget that we also need highly skilled migrants because they are the ones who have this technological skill level as Anglos, and I'm saying this as a sociologist, in the education system. It's now very common for white students not to want to go near maths and so forth. And so our own skill base at high level is dropping, as well as in the middle, as well as at the lower end of unskilled work. So at every level, we need immigrants and you need immigrants. So somebody might actually wake up to that. Okay, let's move on. Week 4. We have 9. All right, things are sort of, I don't know if settling down's the right word, because I don't think anything's going to settle down in the foreseeable future, but it will change from the peak of chaos we're seeing early. We have the Knight of Wands. This is actually a very important night because this knight is righteous and moving forward and off to fight the good fight, but is reining in the horse, if you see this, meaning pulling back, strategizing how to be the most effective. And I think it's in relation to this issue. Oh, second time handling this card. This is also infrastructure. Okay. The infrastructure of the United States is crumbling. It is not sustainable. It is not being rebuilt in appropriate ways. I think the conversation could equally be had about that. And in conjunction with this card, moving forward with strategy. How are we going to pay for it? The evaluation of the harvest. How are we going to pay for this? Well, they'll work out a way on some level because there's the victory card. But in all the countries, Canada, everybody, all the developed countries, there's always a conversation, oh, look, there's not enough money to do these social programs. There's not enough money for this, that, and the other. Well, if you tax the uber rich at 1%, there'd be a massive influx of money that would pay for all sorts of projects. Dare I say, if you tax them the same proportion as you and I get taxed, there would be plenty of money. I don't buy into this not enough money stuff. It's old school economics, it's trickle-down economics, and it's actually not true. Because the kicker at the end of the day is by ignoring social issues, whether it's homelessness, mental health, unemployed young men, causing havoc, etc., it adds up. It costs the community more to ignore these problems. right? And as a sociologist, I was one of the many people on the left broadly when trickle-down economics became a thing to say if you take away the manufacturing base of Australia, that the United States and England that absorbs a lot of homegrown labour, gives young people identities as workers, you will sabotage the next 2 generations because they won't be able to have secure jobs, make decisions like getting married and having kids, etc. And what has happened? All of that has happened. But no one ever comes back to the left and says, oh, you were right. No, they never do. They always demonize downhill to the next unfortunate body of people who gets kicked in the head for their own inadequacies. It's a sense of constant frustration for me. All right. Now, looking at this, we are going to see plenty of action in January, and not only action, because we've had a lot of treading water. This is going to push things along the road. Not too soon. So hold on to your hats. And don't forget, as we move into 2023 and 24 and 25, you guys have to be in tip-top condition to keep going, not just keep going, but to make a difference, to really find a way that you individually can do something, a big thing, medium thing, a tiny thing. We can all do something. So I'm going to, before I leave it there, news of the week too. Have I got my right notes here? New Year's Eve, I'm going to be with you in 2 places. I'm going to be with you early on in the day of New Year's Eve on Hogarth's channel. So please go to Hogarth's channel and find out the time. I think you get notifications in your time zone, but it's going to be earlier than usual, right? We usually do it at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard, and it's going to be earlier in the day. So that gives you plenty of time to have another meal, have a nap, and be ready, because at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be on with Johnny, Becca, Jen Lynn, I'm sure other readers. I think we're going for 3 or 4 hours to take you through New Year's Eve. All right. So how good is that? Have fun, and big love to you guys. Ciao.